morning, Tottenham fans. Have Tottenham finally woke up in this transfer window? Is Kudus the marquee signing that Spurs fans always wanted? Or is there more? Will Spurs sign Wissa, or is his age going to be a bit of a problem? Will Romero sign a new contract, or do you still think he's going to leave in the summer? What do Spurs still need to do if they get Wissa over the line? Have they got enough money to buy players in positions that we still need? So all that in today's video. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I'm on the road to 3,000 subscribers now. It's unbelievable how quickly it's starting to grow. It's starting to snowball now, this channel. I really appreciate everybody that's contributed to the growth. It's amazing. Thank you very, very much. Now, today's video, I want to talk about Kudus. Is he the marquee signing that we've been wanting for a long, long time? Well, for me, yeah. Because if you look at the signings that other teams are going for, like, and I want to compare him to, let's say, Madueke at Chelsea, who could be going to Arsenal for the same sort of price. Now, Chelsea are asking for 50 million for Madueke, and for me, Kudus is levels above Madueke, levels above. Yeah, he had a poor season last season. We can all acknowledge that, and we can't ignore that. But he has got top potential. He's got much higher ceiling than Madueke. That's just my opinion. There could be people out there that think Madueke is a better signing, especially some Arsenal fans. If they did sign Madueke, they'd make him look like he's one of the best players out there going. But if you compare these signings that are happening, I think out of all the wingers you could have got, available wings you could have got, Kudus is probably up there as one of the best ones you could have got. And Mbeumo for me would have been, I'd say, the best option. I still think Mbeumo, because he's worked with Frank before, he scored 20 Premier League goals last season. He's a beast. He knows how to get past a man. He's strong. He's fast. He's a great finisher. So I think other than Mbeumo, the next step would be Kudus. And, there's no reason why Frank couldn't turn Kudus into an Mbeumo, because obviously Frank now is at Spurs, and he could turn Kudus into a 20-goal a season machine. You don't know that yet. Nobody knows, but there's a possibility. He's got all the attributes. He's got all the potential and skill to be able to achieve those levels. So I'm pretty excited about this signing, to be honest. I am really excited. And if Frank can get the best out of him, he is going to be some player. Now, is he going to be the only marquee signing this season? He might be probably the best signing we have this season, but there's no reason why we can't bring in other quality players around him. We're probably, because we're Spurs, going to sign a couple more youngsters. But, if they all blossom in the future, then we're going to have some squad. Do you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't always work out like that, but sometimes it can. And then you've got Wissa. Will Spurs sign Wissa? Now, I've heard a lot of people say to me, I don't think Spurs will sign him because he's 29. First of all, he's not 29. He's 28. He's not 29 until September. So he'll have a whole season as 29. So he's not going to turn 30 during the season. He's not 28. It's not 29 until September. So for me, age is, when it comes to football, people always seem to speak about age when it's a negative, but don't speak about an age when they're doing well. So, like, for example, if Yamal is banging in the goals for Barcelona, no one's complaining how young he is. When Bergvall first came into Spurs, another young signing. But when he started playing really well, everyone was saying he was the first player on the team sheet that should be the first player on the team sheet. Nobody complained about how young he was then. I think it's the quality of the player that outshines the age. So you look at Ronaldo, God's sake, he's 40 years old. He's still banging in goals. Nobody cares that he's 40 because he's still scoring goals. Same with Messi in America. It doesn't matter. If you're good enough, your age is irrelevant. That's all you have to say about that. Wissa is in his prime as well. He scored 19 Premier League goals last season. So for me, it's a no-brainer bringing in someone like that, especially because we had so many issues in our number 9 last season. Solanke was having to play 2 games per week and ended up getting injured 2 or 3 times. Richarlison's only available for 10 games, so it's a no-brainer for me that that's a weak area of our squad. And to put a Wissa in there with a Solanke, it really makes us strong in that position. A lot of fans were complaining as well that we're only bringing in young players, but as soon as we look to bring in an experienced player, everyone then says he's too old. So I'm not sure what you want as a fan, not all of you, just hear from some, that we want to bring experience, but we hate that we bring in young. I'll get confused sometimes, but I just think Wissa is probably at his peak now. He had his best season, in my opinion, last season for Brentford, under Thomas Frank, by the way. And that's another thing. He's played under Frank before. He knows what Frank wants from him. He knows how to play that role superbly. And if Frank can get the best out of Solanke as well, we could have 2 prolific number 9s. And we could have Kudus, Johnson, Sonny, Tell, all firing. You got Maddison and Kulu behind him. It's all of a sudden, if Wissa does come in, and we've got Kudus already, all of a sudden our attacking options are very, very strong. And I'd be a little bit more confident of getting a couple of points in the Champions League at least. So Wissa for me would be another quality signing. That would be 2 good signings, I think. And we all keep forgetting as well that, because we keep saying this window is a quiet, slow window, but we have signed Danso. I know it's an obligation, but he's over the line now. We've got Kota Takai. People are not really saying anything about him because he's 20 years old and he's from Japan, but he's a Japanese international. He's not no mug. He can play on a as a left-sided centre-back as well, so he'd be a cover for Van der Ven. He's not a bad player. He's 6'4". He's a front-foot defender like Romero, who likes to get stuck in. So for me, he could turn out to be a really, really good sign as well. We don't know how he's going to adapt to the Premier League. I have to add that in too. But because he was 5 million, people were sleeping on it, and you just don't know. How many times have Brighton signed someone or Brentford signed someone for 5 million, turned out to be a well-beater? And Bremo was 5 million, by the way, when Brentford signed him. I think Watkins was cheap. I think Wissa was cheap when they bought him in as well. So you just don't know. So we've got Danso, Kota Takai, and we signed Tell up for 29 million. And I think Tell is going to be like an awesome player for us. He again has got all the attributes. He's only 19. People forget he's only 19. And he could go up another level as well. And again, with his age, people are saying because he's 19, we're a little bit dubious on him. But if he has a fantastic season next season, no one's going to care that he's 19, 20 years old. No one's going to care. They're going to say he's a quality player, and that's it. They won't speak about his age. So that's another one. Now, defensively, we're stronger now. We've got 2 centre-backs, Kota Takai and Danso. Remember last season, as soon as Romero and Van der Ven went out, we had Dragushin and Davies. Sorry, Jake. Davies. All right? So we had them 2 at the back. And then obviously Dragushin got injured and we had Davies and Gray. But now, if that same issue happens where Romero and Van der Ven get injured, and it can happen, now we're going to have Danso and a Japanese international centre-back playing as left centre-back now instead of Gray or Davies. So for me, that's already improved. And when Dragushin comes back, he's going to be like 5th choice. We've forgotten as well that we've got Vuskovic, who... another one I think is going to be an insane defender. I'm not going to say he's going to do it this year. He's going to take time to adapt to the Premier League. But he's a unit. He's 6'4" as well. We've got some big old boys at the back now. So I think Van der Ven's 6'2", Kota Takai 6'4", Vuskovic 6'4". So there's a lot of height in there as well. And I think, I think Brentford last season put in the most crosses than any other Premier League team. So I think there's a point to buying these big players as well. Might get those extra points from set plays, you don't know. Will Romero sign a new contract? It's looking like he will now. Spurs are looking to get him over the line, give him a new contract. And that's what I was saying in the previous video. If you are going to keep Romero, you need to put a new contract on him. Hopefully he wants to sign a new contract with Spurs. He's never said he's unhappy at Spurs. there was rumours that he said he wanted to leave. They're untrue. He said he loves Spurs and he wants to, play his career at Spurs. I've heard him myself say those words. So he's openly happy at Spurs, but I think he is a very ambitious guy, which he's also said, I'm a very ambitious guy. So if there was a point where he didn't think Spurs were being ambitious, then he would look to go elsewhere. And I think as a winner, a World Cup winner, and now a Europa League winner, of course he's going to want to win more and more and more. But if Spurs are looking like they are at the moment, trying to sign top quality players, it might change his mind and he might think, well, you know what, I want to stay at this club. So you don't know. It could come towards the end of the summer and then he might end up leaving. It's probably a reason why we're buying so many centre-backs or getting so many centre-backs in. So we don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think he'll stay or do you think he'll go? Now, what do Spurs need to do in this summer transfer window? Well, for me, I still think we need a DM. And for me, if we didn't sign Wissa, and I think 50 million is around ballpark for what they want for him, what Brentford want for him. If there was a choice between signing another striker or buying a DM, I would choose buying a DM because I just think Frank has proven that he needs a DM when he had Norgard. Norgard played brilliantly for him. And believe it or not, I think that's a decent signing for Arsenal, which is horrible to say. Even though he'll be a squad rotation, I still think that would be a good squad player for them. But Frank does need a strong DM in there. Someone that can tackle, someone that can spray the ball, someone that can hold on to the ball when we need to, someone that can dictate play. Now, there's not many out there that are available, but we do need to fill that gap. And one more gap that we do need to fill is probably left back to cover for Udogie. If we can fill those two gaps and get a Wissa, I would give this window probably a 9 or a 10 out of 10 because we're getting what we need to get. Let me know in the comments what you think on this video. Thank you for watching and come on you Spurs.